The film and television industry is experiencing one of the biggest paradigm shifts in its history. Audiences are moving online, and more opportunities for BAME creators and talent is growing steadily. As the millennial generation grew up experiencing less diversity of representation in film and television, some of our leading executive producers, directors, and actors who were struggling to make it then are now decision makers and cultural pioneers continuing to remold the status quo, paving the way for more filmmakers, creators, and actors to build on their progress. This documentary looks at the rising industry leaders in the independent film, television, and online culture in the UK, and we went behind the lens to discuss the landscape of the film and television industry today. There has always been a breadth of untapped talent in the UK that has never seen the green light of mainstream media. Traditionally, a lack of belief and trust in commissioning fresh ideas and new talent on screen has been a point of contention for independent producers and creators, none more so than those from minority backgrounds.
You know, I'm going to be very honest with you guys here today. I am really, really tired of talking about diversity.
With the resurgence in broadcasters' diversity initiatives, recently the scope for new productions with fresh talent has allowed filmmakers like Sebastian Thiel, Samuell, Benta, Sheridan, Meyers, and many more the opportunity to change that.
So one of the reasons why I started Upshot is I got really frustrated with seeing a lot of black comedians, especially at these comedy shows, and not having their own shows. So I used to see like A-Dot comedian, Babatunde comedian at a show called Adlib a long time ago.
Can you give a big round of applause for Babatunde? Yeah! That guy has been doing his thing today, but forget about him. You see, ladies and gentlemen, you see, in fact, madams, if you know you are beautiful, can you say beautiful? Beautiful! If you are not sure, can you ask your friend?
They would kill it. They would kill it on stage. But then I would go home and then they're not on TV and there's nowhere to watch them. So seeing people like that and then going to these shows and then meeting up with them and saying, let's do some comedy sketches was exciting. And I felt like I was doing something new, innovative, and then I was also able to give people a platform to do something.
A-Dot is now being notified about the bullying, harassment, and the selling of a pirate copy of Young Chicken Wing. The boss is not pleased.
You know what? I've just about had it. All of you here, you are all fired.
What? You having enough?
Do I look like I'm off?
Directors taking it upon themselves to create their own opportunities is part of the growing trend amongst filmmakers. However, taking on more than one role, having to be a producer, director, and even a writer comes with its own challenges, as Sheridan details with his feature film, The Weekend.
He approached me to sort of like read like an idea he had, and then we just started collaborating. First we collaborated on a few like short film projects, and then we managed to get the whole production and cast together for The Weekend.
Coke 4-5, ride, road all night. You owe your life. Thank God you got home all right. I heard what you said.
This is most likely drug money.
Literally about 4 or 5 years later, because it's like a long process. Because like sometimes someone's schedule's busy in terms of like the collective you're working with, especially independently, or you're busy, you're going to shoot and you can't go to a meeting, so it kind of delays, or finance falls through, or the finance is there, but the distribution is there, but the cast ain't there. Like, so it's like you're going, okay, so you always juggling like 3 or 4 things to get independent production going on.
The lack of financial backing and support of creative endeavours can often cause frustrating challenges amongst individuals. Being paid for our services is ideal, but when you're on the come up, it's not common.
Does that look like friendship to you? Leave it with me. I'll see what I can cook up.
Everyone wants to get paid. Yes, we want to get paid for doing what we love. Yeah, I totally agree. But if you're just starting out, you need to build up a portfolio for yourself to show people that you can even act. Because if you're just coming fresh out of drama school and you're looking for an agent, or even if you have an agent, you're still going to need some sort of content. We're in the age of video. We're not in the age of piece of paper. That was the 20th century. 21st century is, if I can't press play, you're not coming to my casting.
Look, when you're a new writer or a new person in the TV industry, there'll be a minimum for new writers. That's what they'll probably give you. You can't, what can you say? You can't really make a case and say, hey, like, you should pay me this. No, you climb. That's how, well, some people might be able to get more, I don't know. But generally you climb. Even my sister as an actress, she climbed. The more work you do, the more your rate goes up, and that's just how it works.
His latest project is called 8 Years Old and Smuggling Drugs. It goes out on 5 Star tomorrow. I guess it does what it says on the tin.
Yeah. You know, I always say that I wish that I couldn't make a documentary like this. I wish that it didn't have to be made, but it is something that's happening.
When you have really started to gain, you know, success, recognition at some of the highest levels, I feel like then, you know, you have a little bit of space for you to start demanding that there should be a certain amount, you know, like, you shouldn't really just be accepting anything. And I say that not because to be greedy, but also because you need to protect the structure of the industry. If you are cheapening yourself, then what happens is you're making it harder for other creatives as well. If you're rendering your services for nothing, then, you know, you're making it hard for others as well, because then what's going to happen is that they're going to say, well, let's go to him, or they're going to say, well, so-and-so did it for free. And it's like, we need to respect each other by making sure that we all can be paid for our skills.
Don't let people exploit you and take the piss, because no one respects that, really.
Okay, so my dream, so we made reality. I put £3,000 of my own money into it. Took no one else's money. Do you know what I mean? Changed the way you have to live because you make art. I paid all the crew. Not great, gave them all money. The actors I can't afford to pay, sadly, I have to be honest. And that sucks. It sucks knowing that you can't afford to do that, but you want to make art, and that's all you want to do, and that's all you want to spend your time doing. So it's not like I can't pay people and I have a Lamborghini. I can't pay people and I'm still catching the tube. My dream is that I have my own set and everyone gets paid and lit up. But what we're trying to do right now is build those breeze blocks to get there. Actors don't have to lend me their time. They don't. And you know, and when some actors don't, they go, Nathan, unless you're paying me, get the fuck out of here. And I respect that. Understood, you don't have to work for me. It's an honor when they lend me their time. I feel honored, legit.
It's more benefiting to focus on the passion and to focus on the love you have for what you're trying to do. I know business is important, do you know what I'm saying? And I think to a certain extent, the reason why we don't get a lot of business done in the industry is because people are trying to get business done all the time. There's no room for talent to shine. There's no room for passion to come through. Everyone's trying to think of business. After you put in your business at the forefront, what are you going to do the next time? Do you know what I'm saying? What are you going to do the next time? After you put in these strategies that you know quite well, you're not supposed to be doing in your heart, you know, what are you going to do for the next film? You can't do the same thing for the next film.
You know, my dream is to pay everyone. I'm trying my best to do that. And when I will get there, I swear to God, you got it on camera now, I will remember that and I will repay that time. But don't like send me an invoice with all the time we worked on YouTube videos, because I got it.
Equal representation of people from minority ethnic backgrounds in the film and television industry has long since been an issue. We've bear witness to calls for more diversity both on and off screen and within the workforce. Several initiatives and quotas later, it would appear that the landscape has shifted in a positive way. We spoke to several creatives about their experience of being the minority, and their stories vary.
With the people that I work with, I don't feel like I've ever really had major issues in that respect. So I think that's just testament to Channel 4. There have been other situations that I have been in which clearly, yeah, you're not being listened to. And there's examples where I could say, okay, maybe I'll be talking and I'll have an idea and everyone maybe just put their head down and no one's really listening. And then someone else will say almost exactly the same thing that I just said. And it's usually not a black woman. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, that's great. Like, how did you come up with that? That's so refreshing. That's so great. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, did you not just hear what I said? So yeah, there's definitely been situations like that. But all it does is make me speak louder. And I think that's what we have to do, like continue to make our voice heard. And I think it's up to people in the industry as well to make sure that black women are listened to, because some great people.
When I go into some of these buildings, they probably look at me and think, oh yeah, he's probably got some work experience or something. Not knowing that I'm actually like producing the show or like editing the show or doing something, well, it's of substance. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of the time, because there aren't that many people in these like environments, when you get there, like they look at you like, oh. And another thing that's a bit weird is that some of these buildings, like even when you see other black males around, you say hi to them, they look at you like, what are you doing there? Like, who are you? Do you know what I mean? And it's weird because I think it's a thing where everyone's kind of scared. Oh, and flip, there's only one spot for the one black person. So everyone's scared. If you come now, I'm now in jeopardy because you may not take my job. So everyone ends up becoming enemies. Like I guess if you want to call it that. Which isn't, like, it's not cool, but I guess everyone has bills to pay, so you kind of have to just, everyone for himself, which I don't agree with, but it's life.
There's a massive gap in the industry for technical people that is not being served. So, like, I get phone calls all the time, do you know a black blah, blah, blah? Do you know a black editor? Do you know, because actually, all the broadcasters are challenging production companies to use black staff, but we don't want to do that. We want to be directors and actors. But I'm talking like you could make $1,000 a day editing and you just want to be a director. Like, how much you get paid to direct that music video, bro? Like $2 bills.
The DIY mentality many UK creators possess has allowed for opportunities to arise and inspiration to exist, constantly changing the media landscape. In a recent podcast with Reggie Yates, Noel Clarke talks about his new Sky One series, Bulletproof, and the impact that has on future generations.
So fortunately, what you do have is you have 2 black cops, detectives undercover, who are going around doing cool stuff and sort of bending the rules, and you know, essentially you're getting like a British version of Bad Boys, but a TV series. And we just haven't had that. I think it's important because, you know, when I was young, if you wanted to play a TV show like the A-Team, you had to be BA. Like, they're like, you're BA. No, why? I want to be murder. You're BA. But I don't want to be BA. But you're black in it. You're BA. I'm like, fine, let's play Knight Rider. All right, you're Kit. And it's not even about being a police or anything like that. It's about going, yo, I can do that. I can achieve that. And the bigger picture is like, yo, I can be an actor and I can lead a show in this country.
I would like to pay my respects to Victoria Wood.
In 2017, Michaela Cole picked up awards from the Royal Television Society and BAFTA for her E4 TV series Chewing Gum, a show she created and starred in. However, black women haven't always been well represented on screen.
And if there's anyone out there that looks a bit like me or just feels a little bit out of place trying to get into performing and all this kind of stuff, I'd just say, you are beautiful, embrace it. You are intelligent, embrace it. You are powerful, embrace it. Thank you.
At the time of Chewing Gum's on-screen release, broadcasters were well aware of the fact that there was a lack of diversity in the media industry, both on and off screen. Hence the reason for a sprout of opportunities for new talent and new content, the likes of which we are still witnessing now, 3 years on. Trends like #BlackGirlMagic and #BlackExcellence have encouraged a change in the way dark-skinned and brown-skinned girls have been perceived on screen.
I think when it comes to black women in this industry, when it comes to TV and film anyway, there's much more opportunities in front of the screen I've seen recently, but behind the screen I'm not too sure. But that might be more to do with research than anything else, because I only can name a handful of maybe directors, so to speak, that have been given an opportunity to do something on the screen. But even in terms of writers, producers, etc., you really have to kind of skew more towards the music side to see these things happen. In TV and film, there's not enough, so there needs to be more.
You eat your own bogies, then I can understand your problem.
But he freaked, walks out, Gran goes mad, and makes me write this letter. Dear Pastor, I'm so bad and you are so good.
For those who are represented black women in the arts, we wanted to understand how colourism can affect on-screen talent. Bunmi Mojekwu, who played the character Mercy in the first Nigerian family on EastEnders, speaks on her experience of being part of the show.
Yeah, I mean, on a personal level, there was a lot going on in my life at the time. But, you know, being on the show, I mean, people had known me from before, but obviously this is EastEnders, like the biggest show in the country. And, you know, I was received well, but then I wasn't in terms of my appearance and everything else. So it took a toll on me, figuring out, you know, who to believe. Do I believe what people say about me? Is my confidence real? Like, what do I see in the mirror? It's not seem to be what everyone else sees. And, you know, I'd be on set and I'd be like, okay, I look fine. But as soon as I come on screen, it'd be a different story. And, you know, I went through a big battle within myself and trying to figure out what was wrong. And then I realized I wasn't the problem. It was more people, because online I'd received such horribleness to this day. And then in the street, I meet people and it's nothing but love. So I realized there's some sort of miscommunication. And then it's kind of what BAM is all about now, is just changing that narrative of how we see black women on TV, how we embrace dark-skinned women on TV. And I know we all want the best representation of ourselves, and if we don't look correct, it's like, oh, why not? But I think there's more to it, and it's a bit more deeper. We need to access that and cultivate that, treat it, heal it, and move forward. So I went through something I needed to go through to get to where I am today. And I have a lot more sensitivity towards a lot of young girls and what they're going through growing up. Because I didn't go through it, because I'm quite stubborn in nature. So it was never cool to be dark-skinned in school, but this is how I am. And I never saw it as something I could change, so I accepted it. So I never had those issues. So when people started inflicting it on me, I got very confused. Like, so am I supposed to be upset that I'm black? And should I be bleaching? I don't quite understand what's going on. So I went through all of those things. Not that I wanted to bleach. Oh, no. But, you know, those things I started to realize was a big issue within the community, bigger than me just being on EastEnders. So I took on more to deal with and more that I care about now. So I'm very grateful for the whole experience. Yeah.
Are you going like that?
Yeah. Why?
Ain't it your first day?
More opportunities have arisen for minorities in the TV and film industry. But how do they feel about maintaining their cultural authenticity?
Don't try and say that I don't look fly.
Didn't you tell me everyone who works at the company is white?
Yeah, I fully don't get your point.
You have met white people, right?
Yes.
Then why are you going dressed like that? You're already black, and now you're going to go double black on their asses and wear some African cloth.
Here's the thing, I guess I have a different perspective on this is because I was raised in a black country. So for me, it was never about toning down blackness, the whole of it black. It is a question of, should I be more professional? So even within Jamaica, I'm not going to walk into a meeting and say, yo, wagwan brother. I don't know this man. I'll still speak in a Jamaican accent. I'll be like, hello sir, how are you? But I'm not, you know, the familiarity and the professionality is not the same. So coming back here, I do think there's professionalism versus toning down in blackness.
Like, the way you speak is not necessarily your blackness, that's, I guess, culture, right? So there's certain environments, yeah, that I adapt in. Yeah, it doesn't mean that I change who I am. It's just you adapt. I try and be professional to the extent of people just know it, to people being able to understand me.
I get to the age now where I don't care. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna like, oh yeah, you're right there, Dave. La la la. But I used to work in Pinewood. When I used to work in Pinewood, definitely. You're right, mate. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was a weekend. Yeah. Should have been the lads and that. You know what I mean? I would make myself palatable because I know I'm the other. And at the end of the day, I don't judge nobody for doing that because I know I need that check. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell a man, yo, you need to rep blackness and la 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 la. Because I don't know what his finances set up. I don't know what he's paying for. Man might have a mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a I don't think you should sell out your thing. Don't sell out your thing. But if you have to be palatable to get through, do that. But then here's the thing, I understand why that has to be done. And I play that game as well. You know what I mean? That's why Dreaming Whilst Black, we had the opportunity of making a pilot and trying to sell the pilot. And I was like, you know what? Let's just struggle and make the whole show ourselves, because then we can be as black as we want.
ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. Yeah, if I drink too much fizzy drinks, I'm really hyper in general. And then when I'm really quiet, there is no balance, you know? Like right now, I'm just neutral, you know? When I'm really quiet, people either think I'm being rude or there's something wrong. And then when I'm really hyper, I'm just excited. People either think I'm annoying or I'm arrogant. So there is no in between. You either love me or you hate me.
Before I even answer what mental health in the industry is, you have to understand I come from a country where it's like, no man, them not do nothing, them lazy. They're just lazy, why not just get up and work? You know what I mean? So that's where I come from. And I also come from a culture where men should just get on with it. Like, man, not for ball, what kind of girl thing you depend? Like, you know what I mean? I remember a friend of mine passed away a few years ago. And, you know, I'm just, you know, busy kind of organize everybody. Yo, let's just get this thing going, you know, trying to book flights to Jamaica, all that kind of stuff. I remember in the end, I had a moment to myself and I was talking to a friend of mine here. And I was just talking to him about the whole thing. And it's like, he heard my voice start cracking. And he was like, yo, be strong, brother. And in that, I was just like, rah, be strong. So me expressing the kind of loss of a friend of mine in a physical way is not being strong. So now you calculate, you bring all that back, all that cultural context back to the film industry, which is predominantly a kind of go-getter kind of capitalist industry. Like, you know, we gotta be the best, or we gotta make success, we have to make money. And, you know, you look to America, as all minorities do, or as everyone in England does, as the big Hollywood. Everyone is trying to make that Hollywood film. And everyone in England is struggling. And I think the pressure that we place on ourselves, or that society has placed on ourselves, to be good, to be successful, to get fame, even just the concept of fame, people need to know you.
In the acting industry, well, I suppose with any job, it's hard to admit to an employer, casting director, that you do suffer with a mental health problem, because there's someone else out there that's as talented as you that doesn't suffer with the problem. So they're therefore subliminally going to choose that person because he's not going to have any problems with them on set, you know. And I mean, I've done talks I've been to sort of acting classes and done talks about mental health in the industry, because I sort of suffered discrimination when it come to a casting one time. I done one day on set, and then the next day I wasn't available, and I told them beforehand, and then it all got blown out of proportion because I didn't go the next day even though I said it. And then it was mentioned, oh, his mental health has made him not turn up, he's blaming everything on that, I think he's making it up. And I'm like, are you being serious? Really? Like, you're really saying that to the whole of Facebook and all that sort of thing? And that was, it just deteriorated my personality on set from sort of then onwards for a good little while, until I sort of started talking about it a lot more. And I campaign and I make videos for my YouTube channel and stuff to help other people and give them the facts that I've learned from the courses and the volunteering that I've done over the time, because I've done sort of mental health first aid, and that as a course is like £250 minimum. So if I can give people the stuff that I've learned in a video for free, because why should you have to pay for your mental health because you've been born with something? It's not fair.
How I'd advise another actor or someone else that has got it to do with it is just be yourself. There's not many of us that have ADHD, literally. Everyone else is like just how they are, and I've got ADHD. I'm cool with it. I'm team, like people see us as, oh, he's got ADHD, like stay away from him more. That's how they used to think. But I feel like people can just guess now. I'm a madman, I'm crazy. And I am how I am, and who wants to be normal anyway? I'm a fucking weirdo.
If I can change their point of view with what I'm saying, that's brilliant, and that's what we're here to do, you know?
I've definitely been depressed before, and I think my way of dealing with depression is kind of just delving into work, which is a double-edged sword for me, because whereas emotionally I may be going through a lot of stuff, I'm being super productive. You know, so it's like at the end of the depression, I'm like, shit, this is a great script. You know what I mean? But not everybody deals with depression like that. And I think that's one of the privileges or kind of bonuses of being a creative, is that you have an outlet. So creatives tend to, you know, when they get in that mood, they just channel it into that outlet where when you're an accountant, a teacher, you know, a job that doesn't allow creative expression in an overt way.
You was exciting. Let me just tell you, you was exciting.
No. Can I tell you? It's not finished. 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 I was not excited. So do not chat shit to me. You don't know me. Don't chat shit to me. I want to get out. No, can you get out, please? I want to get out.
I think the cast members on Batch are very strong. Some more than others. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't all be the same. But you kind of come into it preparing yourself of how the public are going to treat you or how they're going to take you. You can come in and be a hero, come in and be a villain, and the chances of you changing into a hero or changing into a villain is probably slim. Once they see you as that person, they're probably going to stick to it. So a lot of the cast members went through a lot of pressure of, you know, hate from the audience, a lot of, DMs, people saying negative things to them, and I had a consultant in the team that obviously would speak to them one-on-one and explain to them that this is the process of what you have to go through. Like, it's real life for them. A lot of people at home typing on their keyboards and stuff like that and saying a lot of hateful stuff, but it's like, this is real shit. This is real. It's like, these people are real people. They're not faking to you, so when you say things to them, it's not entertainment. They're taking it for Bible. When you say, oh, I hate you, or you're a dickhead, or you're a this, or you're a that, and I hope something dies and whatever, you're looking at like these people are far. They're not really far from you. You know what I'm saying? When they read these comments, it's kind of like, who wants to learn that people say stuff like this about you? Am I a bad person for my views? You shouldn't have to feel like that.
In March 2017, Samuell Jackson caused controversy when he commented on the casting of Black British actor Daniel Kaluuya in the feature film Get Out.
The thing in my mind is, I know the young brother is in the movie, and he's British. I tend to wonder, what would that movie have been with an American brother who really understands that in a way? Because, I mean, Daniel grew up in a country where, they've been interracial dating for 100 years.
What is that casting thing where you get the British black actor versus the American black actor to play the black? What is that?
They're cheaper than us for one thing.
Huh.
They don't cost as much.
Oh, wow.
Now, I used to act. I trained as a method actor as well, so I understand that acting, if you know the essence of acting, Stanislavski, yeah? The essence of acting, realism, is for you to research and understand deeply the experiences and the characteristics of a person, and you immerse yourselves into them. You don't need to be from that background, but you research it so well and you immerse yourself so deeply, you play the character. Some people play a gay character exceedingly powerfully, but they're not gay. You know what I mean? But it's because they're a good actor. So for Samuell Jackson to say that, it kind of discredited him to me as an actor. Because then, what are you talking about? We don't all just play typecast roles based on our own experiences. No, we don't. Like, that's not what acting is about. I felt that was very ignorant of him to say. And what I really didn't like is then when he went on to say, oh, maybe because they're cheaper than us. That was very low. That was very, very low. It may be true that we're cheaper because we're coming over as foreign exports and we're trying to build a name in an industry that we are new to. But there's no need for you to say that. I feel like you're discrediting the hard work that Daniel Kaluuya has put in to get himself to that stage, and an amazing performance that he did in that role as well.
Samuell Jackson might hate me for saying this, but they are just really well trained. I think actors especially really, really invest in their craft. I think a lot of actors go to theatre, and I think that's a great platform for them to almost get that immediate feedback from the crowd, and it just seems like a really good way to train. And even the drama schools as well. It just seems like, yeah, British actors really take pride in training. And I think you see that in the quality that comes out and the quality that they deliver as well. Not to say that American actors do not do the same. But yeah, I think when you look at the likes of David Oyelowo, Idris Elba, Adrian Lester, like some great actors like that, you could just tell that they've really studied it and really built on what they've sort of the experience that they've had over the years. So I think they're just great talent-wise.
We spoke about Amelamine, we sort of just mentioned him anyway when we were talking about kidulthood. I sort of asked him, I said to him, look, why do you think it is that so many young black British actors are getting the roles that these young African-American actors aren't getting? He said, there's two different types of performers, right? You have got the guys that have charisma, and then you've got the guys that have craft. For American casting directors and for American film, they look at British actors as coming from a world of craft because we have that that legacy of stage. Whereas Wesley Snipes, charisma. Will Smith, charisma. They're characters that are bigger than life, and they're characters that can walk into a room and just light it up just with their charm. But when it comes to actually doing the work, there's one or two that you can name, but the rest of them are charisma guys.
Mm-hmm. Look at those stories and how they've got to where they are. John Boyega, everyone, yeah? They've been grinding since kids, right? Now, there's a theory that if you put 10,000 hours into any given subject, you become a master at it, right? And the world will get out your way to let you reap what you sow, right? If you plant a seed, you water it for years, it's gonna grow and it's gonna blow. So everyone that's been blowing now, it's their time. It was bound to happen. It's inevitable. It's the law of attraction. It's going to happen that way. If you put so much effort into something, you're gonna get something back.
At least it's good to see you being you again.
It's good to be me again.
Top Boy is coming back, and we spoke to one of the main actors about the new season.
Having run out was the best thing that ever happened to me.
You know why you ain't rolling with my team?
It's because I'm smart. He told me he was going around Gems to do homework.
He's just growing up so fast.
Yeah, too fast.
I'm really glad it's back. That's the main thing. I love the fact that the body of work has been picked up because realistically it was an outstanding piece of work, both season 1 and 2. So it does deserve a huge platform, and it's getting this huge platform, obviously. Personally, I'm really glad it's back, man. That's just the main thing. I'm just happy that there's a chance for at least people to express again, just to show what's really going on. Yeah, and hopefully after this, it opens doors for a lot more UK people to get their platforms onto Netflix, man, and just give us our chance, man. We've got bags of talent over here, so literally just want our chance, man.
Originally, I guess I used to be like, no, UK, let's ride or die all together. We don't need no one else. We can do it ourselves. But yeah, we can. 100% we can, and we've seen it happen many, many, many times. But I can also see the benefits of someone coming from across the sea to come and help a project like Drake coming to help Top Boy. Now, if Drake's coming to help Top Boy to like better his means and he's doing it for the wrong reasons and coming in, try to bring in his stars and stuff like that, then yeah, I'm not for that. But if he's coming in and seeing some potential within like, the UK scene and he has money to spare and he's like, yo, I want to support what you guys are doing because your UK people are not trying to help you like that, let me come and support. And what that's going to do is going to open doors for everyone else eventually. You know what I mean? Same way when it comes to like Black Panther, finally Marvel was saying like, here's 200 mil to go and do something which has never been done. Finally, they made this turn over £1 billion without even hitting China yet.
Probably when this comes out, they might hit China, but you know what I mean? But now they haven't even hit China, and it's already £1 billion. And that's with someone coming in, seeing something for what it is, and saying, you know what, let's give it a go. So I'm praying that that's the same kind of like mission, I guess, someone like Drake is going to have with Top Boy.
Typically, for an actor to build their profile, they would have to get an audition, book a job, and build their CV. However, social media has adapted that status quo, where individuals gain opportunities as a result of their sizable online influence.
With rappers, the thing is, they do have a profile. Let's be real. If I put Scorcher in a film, Scorcher's got 50k followers. If I put up-and-coming actor from Peckham, he's got maybe 5. I've got 8. If I put me, imagine that. If I put me, I've got 8k followers, 9k followers on social media. I'm better off, putting a rapper in a film if I wanted to reach than putting myself in a film. So we can't deny that that's an element of it. So that adds to the business, that helps the business. But for me, they have to be good. Scorcher's brilliant. No one could have done that role better than him. Who? Tell me. No one. Scorcher's brilliant as that role. So if he's good, why are we questioning it?
Bro, what sort of message are you sending to the actors that are growing up thinking, I want to be part of this? They're now looking at you like, I need to get my social media. I need to go and flash some tits. And maybe get some following up and get a buzz on social media now because acting ain't enough. Clearly. They say it's not enough. I need to go and do all these crazy things on the side where, my social media, I have to go and beg friends, I have to rub shoulders with the, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people in the industry that are like that. They go and do things for the fact that, you know that when you get nominated with them, you know they're going to win over you because it's now a popularity contest. How can filming be a popularity contest? You might call me naive because they're doing the same thing in Hollywood, but the difference is they're doing it with actors. They're doing it with actors. We're doing it with other people. You even probably have Usain Bolt on a film acting before you have an actor.
Like, let's stop limiting ourselves. Let's stop limiting our brothers and sisters to say, oh, they can only do this, they can only do that. If an actor comes in and does a better job than a rapper, I will put the best person for the job. However, if they're equally as good as each other, I'll pick the person that has the highest profile as a producer. As an actor, that breaks my heart because that's happened to me, where I've not been in things that... But I get it. You have to understand that actually this is a business. This is not... When I'm taking money from an investor, when I'm taking £500,000 from an investor to make a film, I need to make $1 million back minimum for them to want to come back next time. If I make them like 700k back, it's like, oh, it wasn't that much. How do I maximize that? I bring people that... So actors need to build their profile. Like, Nathan Hector, I love that kid. There's a kid called Nathan Hector. I always push him in all my interviews because he promotes himself like a brand.
1, 2, 3, let's rock!
Look, the key word here about my whole brand and the whole Nathan Hector social media following thing is network. That is it, literally. Go out there. I didn't give a rat's ass about what people thought of me, and I still don't. I went out there and I hustled my way here, and I failed, and I failed again, and I failed again, and I got bags of no's and loads of people slamming doors in my faces to get here. I created my own door, smashed down my own door and created my own lane. I didn't wait for XYZ to say, oh yeah, he's sick, let's put him here, or he's sick, let's put him here. I literally just created my own path, created my own door with my screwdrivers, with no help, from no one. Slammed down my door, and that's when opportunities started coming left, right, and centre. And that is it, literally. The social media thing, I kind of, over the years, I've just kind of learned how to brand myself and do little things, and Snapchat as well. Like, I might be with a friend that's got more followers than me, I shout myself out on their Snapchat and they'll do the same. Twitter, I'm just a character. You just be yourself. I'm myself, and some people like me, some people don't. And for the people that don't, I don't really give a shit, to be fair, because I'm me and I'm comfortable in my own skin. And anyone that is not comfortable with you being comfortable in your own skin, they're clearly not comfortable in this.
The lack of opportunity in the UK has often led our homegrown talent to look abroad for their break in the industry. The likes of Idris Elba, John Boyega, Naomi Harris, and most recently Damson Idris are all prime examples of this. But is there a way in which the UK can keep hold of its talent?
Like, when I was doing Just a Couple, I was like, rah, you know, I can't think of a relationship comedy that has been on BBC or Channel 4 with a predominantly black cast. I actually couldn't think of it.
There we go. Some salt on my plate. Yum.
Do you want me to bring... Do you want me to get it myself, or...?
Oh, no. Quite the contrary, my dear. I want you to make it yourself. Because this is my food, so back off. Okay?
Let the games begin.
It's already begun.
I don't think we take enough risks in the UK. I think we play things a bit too safe. Or they play things a bit too safe, whoever they is. But I would say that, like, risks. Take risks with content, take risks with ideas, I feel America, they do that.
It is an entirely different ball game going to the States. I mean, you could think with the UK, things might be a certain way here, but over there, the good thing about over there is the mindset is so much more different. They are so much more open to collaborating. You know, there's stuff going on for actors all the time, or writers all the time, or directors all the time. There's always a consistency of something going on out there, right? And everyone's just a lot more positive and collaborative. Whereas in Britain, a lot more segregated, a lot more depressed, lack of trust. Everyone's doing their own thing, sticking to the corners. It's kind of like when you go to a rave, no one wants to be the first one in the middle of the dance floor. And they all stand round the side until that one person goes to the center. And then one by one, they all start coming in. That's the mentality here. Over there, different ball game. Everyone's just, you know, there's that no fear zone. And that's what I love. That's what I loved when I was over there.
I keep talking about Bellamy, like, he was in kidulthood with me, we were quite good friends. And me and him were talking, and he said to be black and British is like the best form of blackness, because in Africa, if you're black, yeah, your references are Africa and America. In America, if you're black, you think the whole world, you think you're the only form of black people in the world apart from Africans. In England, you're black. You're exposed to so much more. So you could grow up in America, you could grow up in Harlem and only ever speak to black people. Are you thinking that? There's no way, even if you grow up in Housden or Peckham, there's no way you're getting away with only ever coming in contact with black people in England. So your influences are more broad. And also you're influenced by Africa. Because you got Africans that live here. I'm like first generation. I was born in Nigeria. So you got Nigerians that are like Ghanaians, Sierra Leoneans. You got Africans that live here. Then you've got Caribbeans that have always lived there. They've got a rich culture here. You know, then you've got the American influence. Then you've got the actual British influence. You throw that into a mix. It's dope, man. You're just super exposed as like you know, black creatives, and you got more references. You got a wider breadth of references than, say, if you grew up in Harlem or Lagos. I'll stand by that.
If there's any actors or creatives that think there's no opportunities here, you're wrong. There is more opportunity here now than there ever has been before. Do you want to know why? It's not saturated. There's only a handful of people that's probably doing what I'm doing, or what Purple Gecko are doing, or what this other person is doing. Now is the time to create noise and throw that rock in the river to create the ripple effect. Now's the time to do it. And we've got the technology here, And I would say talent has been growing through the grapevine for all that stuff to kind of start moving in that direction. And I've witnessed all of that. So if someone was to say to me now, would you go to America? Yeah, I don't mind starring in the show, that's great. I just feel with the culture and the mindset here, this is where the change needs to happen, and it only takes one person.
It's simple. The BBC do facts, they're there. ITV do the facts. Everyone, all the companies do the facts, they're there. I guess my point is I can't do anything about those corporations. It's not my job to do anything about them. They know where we are. We're doing our thing. The only thing I give a fuck about is creating work. And I believe if you create good work, they have to come and find you. Watching like 20 years, I'm there old, being like, I made reality 10.0 and they've never found it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Maybe that will be the case, I don't fucking know, but fine, look, they're gonna always do what they have to do, but the idea of, do you know what I mean, Issa Rae created Awkward Black Girl, HBO had to get it. It was, you know what I mean, Michaela Cole did the hit Chewing Gum. And they had to do it, do you know what I mean? So let's just focus on creating our great work. And if these corporations don't find it, the internet will.
Okay, remember that dry-headed, dusty witch Theresa May, yeah? She said that they were going to rehouse the families of the fire. All now, only a handful of families have been rehoused. She lied. They lied again. She came to the end, didn't even meet the residents. Just shook one. They said that they were going to give £500 cash and 5k in their accounts of all the families, yeah? Knowing that most of these families operate solely on cash. Imagine that. £500 to rebuild your family. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to happen from this Grenfell inquiry unless we scream.
We can't think like that. I will do my bit.
How?
When I'm designing my buildings.
You're going to be designing £1 million penthouses, not affordable housing if there's even any left.
The culture within our industry has seen a change over time. The lack of opportunity was taken on the chin and fearless creators reacted with independence and innovation. In the early 2000s, alongside the rise of grime, we saw films like Kidulthood, Rolling with the Nines and Bullet Boy influence and impact the urban film culture. However, films that followed quickly became contrived and audiences plus the filmmaking community recognized this. There were stories beyond the black British street narrative that could be told and would be told. Attack the Block brought sci-fi to our doorsteps. Gone Too Far explored the humorous side of the British African culture that many of us are familiar with, while Another Hood allowed us to mock urban stereotypes and the bad boy narrative. This will set the foundation for shows on TV such as Top Boy, Murder by My Boyfriend, and Chewing Gum, a stage for characters with extra dimension and stories with depth. Today, technology has allowed the filmmaking community lower barriers to entry. And with access to professional equipment and wide range of online platforms, creators are able to build success in incredible ways by sharing ever-diverse stories. YouTube and affordable cameras have birthed Kayode Wumi's Hood documentary, Cecil Mike's Aki and Soulfish, and many, many more. There's a movement, and it's broken age-old molds and is subverting the narrative to change our culture for the good. The dawn of a new age is definitely in the air. And it's here for us creatives to keep on pushing into an era where diversity, excellence, and independent storytelling is the standard.
If you don't know my story, but it's just a lot of hard work, persistence, and faith. Like, struggle from being homeless to eating peanut butter sometimes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner to affording only $1 slice of pizza when I was living out in New York. And to say like a year ago today, probably only being able to, not even if I had to walk to work, a 40-minute walk, and then take a cab for the last 10 minutes I can get to work. There's little things like that. And the reason I leave you with that is to say that just keep on grinding, man. Hard work and faith and persistence, and keep on going, and you truly will. The world will get your way and God will open doors for you. Your hard work will always pay off. Always. Just never give up, man. That's it.
You know, I had someone that told me one time, they said to me, there's some things that we do that pay our pocket and some things that pay our soul. Don't forget to take care of both. Make sure you're paying your pocket as well as paying your soul. They're both important.